Hello, friends, and happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for joining me here on Level Up Live. I'm excited to welcome you to today's live Level Up conversation. If you're joining on the replay, happy replay day to you as well. Let's get started.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market updates. Award-winning financial pro. Get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends, and happy Tuesday to you. I'm Winnie Sun, your host, Forbes contributor, CNBC Council member, and award-winning financial pro. Here to keep you on top of all things relevant, trending business news. Lots of stuff going on. But most importantly, because it's live, this what makes it very, very fun. I can actually see your comments come in. So don't be shy. Let me know where you're joining me from. And of course, how you're doing. Are you looking forward to the holidays this month? Lots of stuff going on, but most importantly, tell me where you're joining us from. Don't be shy. All right. Now, first off, before we jump into the news of the day, let's start with how the market closed. A little bit of positive news across the board, especially for those of you who are investing, maybe looking at what to do before the end of the year. Well, it's a triple up day, and the Dow closed up 105 points, the Nasdaq up 113, and the S&P 500 also up 29 points. Some good news, in fact. I think, some good news that we saw last month, in fact, are indicating that perhaps inflation numbers are starting to cool down just a bit. This is positive. Obviously, we're hoping for more good news because this week the Fed is scheduled to meet and an announcement is scheduled to take place in terms of how much more they're going to be increasing interest rates. Now, if you remember, last month the consumer price index priced at an increase of 7% from the previous month, which actually was an improvement. So they're saying, who knows? It's probably going to be a 0.5% in terms of increase on tomorrow's inflation announcement. But we'll see if that stays the case and if things get a little bit better. So things obviously, hopefully we're thinking things will cost a little bit less as we do a little bit of Santa shopping and holiday shopping with our loved ones, right? So tomorrow, lots of things happening. And especially if you're around, join me on our tweet chat tomorrow. We're going to have a Money Moves tweet chat on Twitter, and that's going to be at hashtag Winnie Sun. We'd love to welcome you to that tomorrow's conversation. I think that's actually going to be our last tweet chat before the end of the year. So definitely try to make it if you can. And speaking of the end of the year, 2023 is right around the corner. Can you believe in a couple of weeks it's going to be January? It's going to be a brand new year. It's craziness. Well, I wanted to share with you an article that popped on my radar today that I thought would be interesting for you to take a look at. This is from our friends at CNBC, of course, talking about some of the things that Americans did in 2022 to really increase their financial well-being, their personal wealth decision. Now, what was the number one thing that most Americans surveyed did for themselves to better their financial situation? Well, you guessed it. 27% said that they invested in the stock market. Now, this is, of course, a very popular money move, and this has been shared from CNBC Make It today. Other people were saying, some of them, they started a second job or side hustle. That was at 20%. Others, obviously looking for new work and different opportunities. But all in all, let me ask you what you're going to do for 2023. Of course, 2023, we're going to talk a lot about New Year's resolutions, financial goals, and things like that. But thought I would plant that seed with you early on to get you thinking. I see Sadiq joining us. Sadiq, hello from LinkedIn Live. Thank you so much for joining us today. I also see CrossX Writer. I see Joshua joining us on YouTube Live. We appreciate you being here as well. Thank you so much for making the time. Now, let's segue over to, I think this is something those of you who follow this show know that we talk a lot about, of course, Elon Musk. I feel like he almost needs his own segment now, the Elon Musk segment. Well, we had to share more news coming out from Elon and on Twitter. You may have heard that he's now threatening or has been threatening his employees if they leak information to the media that they could get sued. by Twitter because of their very strict NDA that was required to be signed by this past weekend. Now, some of their employees actually didn't see because they didn't check their email over the weekend and they came into work yesterday. I guess they lost their Slack access and things like that. But for those who don't work on Twitter, you might be breathing a sigh of relief. That is, unless you currently have Twitter Blue, which I have Twitter Blue. And I'm also a verified user on Twitter and have been for a very, very long time. Well, now they're saying they're going to do a relaunch of the Twitter Blue. That's right. You heard this in November, but it didn't sort of fizzle out. And so, or didn't seem to work out, it fizzled out. But now it's being brought back once again. Twitter has announced now under Elon Musk's new leadership that this new service is going to cost $8 a month for those of you who pay for it on the web. And those of you who subscribe via your iOS device, maybe your iPhone or your iPad, it's going to cost you $11 a month. The reason why there's a $3 difference is because I guess Elon wants to be very, very clear. He wants you to know very, very clearly that in fact those $3 are probably going to be going to Apple. And therefore, you're encouraged to sign up via the web and not through iOS. Now, for businesses, of course, if you don't have Twitter Blue, you're going to need to get it because this will give you a future gold check mark, and governments will eventually get a gray check mark. But for those of you who are verified under Twitter's old policy, myself included, well, there's been notification that in fact that blue is probably going to be going away. That blue check mark will be going away unless you decide to pay that $8 a month. Now, with the $8 a month comes a lot of different benefits, including something that I've been paying attention to, is of course be able to upload a longer video. And so that's pretty interesting. But they're saying that in time, in the next few months, you're going to see a lot of people who have the legacy blue check mark who are verified. And in order to be verified in the old program, just so you know, like it wasn't just like, you knew somebody and they gave you a blue check mark. Back in the day, you had to submit your identification. You had to submit ID, usually driver license or passport. You had to scan and submit that. You had a lot of hoops to be able to be Twitter verified. You had to maybe write for a publication such as Forbes, or maybe you were on TV with CNBC. There had to be some sort of way to verify. So the blue check mark back in the day required that. Now the blue check mark, it seems if you pay $8 a month and they can verify that you have a real phone number, well, then you're going to get your blue check mark. Good or bad? I don't know, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say. So I see CrossX Fighter says, doing very well, Winnie. Thank you so much for sharing that. Sadiq is saying, I will move to Mars in 2023. Sadiq, you're moving to Mars, huh? Well, hopefully you can still catch our stream in Mars. I'm thinking maybe if you have Wi-Fi. I don't know. I don't think you can go to Mars in March. I mean, Mars in March, Mars in 2023, but maybe you can. Stranger things have happened more quickly. Sadiq is also saying you may differentiate who paid, who's originally verified with a Chrome app. Really? That's interesting. Definitely send me that app. I'd be really curious to see who is legacy blue check mark and who is new paid blue check mark. That'd be really interesting to see too. All right. So segueing over to some good news, of course, we need some good news. Every day we need some good news. Well, this I thought was really good news. This came out of in the news. It's from the team behind Moderna and Merck. Now, you all know Moderna probably from obviously the COVID vaccine, mRNA vaccine that has a lot of people have taken it worldwide. Well, did you know that Moderna and Merck have been using this mRNA technology for quite some time? In fact, this was a technology they had first devised to try to solve cancer, believe it or not. Well, these two mega pharmaceutical companies have teamed up and they think they've actually broken some ground in finding a vaccine for cancer. This is incredible. In fact, they're showing that this new vaccine, this new technology is being used in a successful development in, I guess, skin cancer, right? To be able to treat melanoma. And so this is certainly has a lot of shareholders are paying very close attention to this, but it's a combination of these different companies. And they're saying that this new technology could potentially reduce deadly skin cancer by 44% compared to just using the drug by itself. So this is really good news. They're saying that this could be just the beginning of many more cancer vaccines in the future. So I thought I would share some good news for you because I'm sure you know someone in your life who has unfortunately had to battle cancer, suffer through this process. And it's good to know that this technology that was originally designed for cancer to treat cancer is now that they've been able to prove the speed of it and some success in it due to the COVID vaccine. Now they're working and going full into working towards solving cancer. And they're saying that this could be just one of the very beginning of usages. And in fact, there were many people interviewed in several of these stories saying that within the next 5 years, they envision many cancers being treated with this new technology. So I know Vicky is saying, wow, welcome Vicky on Facebook Live. It is amazing to hear. This is like, I was really excited to hear this, using new technology to solve old problems. That if we can get beyond this, hopefully this can really improve the quality of life for so many people on this earth. All right. And that is my last story for today. So, as a reminder, my friends, you can find full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Roku, Samsung, and other places. And of course, don't forget to check out Yes Factor with Winnie Sun, also on Apple Podcasts or wherever you tune in. And do me a favor, take a moment to like this stream and consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future live stream or upload. And with that, a huge thank you to Vicky, to Sadiq, to Joshua, everybody for tuning in, and of course, sharing the show with your friends on social media. We appreciate it. We love it. And I'll see you again tomorrow. So take care. Bye-bye now.